Good afternoon and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new to my channel, this is Louisiana Cooking and Living and my name is Katie, and we welcome you if you're new. And today we are going to start doing some Christmas candies. It's time to start giving those candies away to our neighbors, our friends, our family. So I'd like to share a few recipes with you. I'm not sure how many parts I'm going to do this in because I'm not sure how many different candies and cookies we will get done together. When I went to the store today, I couldn't find all the ingredients I needed. So I know we're gonna have to spread this out over a few episodes. So we'll get a few things done today and then we'll just, I guess, see how far we get. I've always liked to give these away to my friends and family. I've done some different things throughout the years. I've given away a derby pie, which I've actually made that recipe back in the summertime. You can get a cheap Pyrex, well, at least back then, I don't know what it is now, pie plate, dish, glass for $4 or something at Walmart. And so what I did was I'd buy the pie plates and I'd make the pie and give that to them for Christmas. And so they had another pie plate they can use because we always need extra pie plates, right? And then a pie they can share with their family. So I've done that before. I can link that video up here at the top. It's like a chocolate chip cookie. It's so yummy. And then I've given away jellies. You can always make jellies. I've made raspberry jelly, strawberry, I say jelly, preserves, strawberry preserves. I made cranberry sauce. I've done like some pepper things. I've made some cowboy candy with you guys. Let me grab one of those real quick and I'm gonna show it to you. All right, so we've made vanilla together. I mean, you could put this together now. This wasn't made to be a commercial or anything, but I do have my Etsy shop open with my different extracts and different things I'm gonna show you real quick, and those are quick. If you want a handmade Christmas gift, but you don't have time or want to take the time to make them, you can always make vanilla extract. This is vodka with vanilla beans. I just buy the vodka at Costco. You can get a good deal on that there. And you put the vanilla beans. It does have to sit for a while, so if you were to make this now to give for a Christmas present, you just would tell them, wait 3 months-ish to use it, okay? We've made hot sauce together. I think we made it together. I'm not sure. But anyway, hot sauce from the peppers from my garden. I know we did the cowboy candy together. This is a sweet, spicy pepper, I guess it's kind of like a relish maybe, that you'd serve over like cream cheese with crackers, or you could put it as a pizza topping, as a barbecue topping, hamburger, did I say pizza, and baked beans. Anyway, it's super spicy. Well, this is, at least because of the peppers that I use. It's not just jalapenos, but it's got the sugar in there, the sweetness, it's got garlic and onion and stuff. So I have a recipe, I'll leave that link up above also. So those are different things you can do for Christmas gifts. Everybody likes to get handmade, homemade Christmas gifts. It's not just go to the store and buying something sometimes. Some of these recipes that we will do together are gonna be super simple. Some you've probably done before, but it's just something that I'm gonna show you that I do. And like chocolate covered pretzels. Everybody knows how to make chocolate covered pretzels, right? But we're gonna do them together just because I'm gonna put them together and we're gonna have fun. So the first thing we're gonna start off with is peanut clusters. And so we'll move the camera down and I'll show you what I use to make these and we'll get started, super easy. All right, so I buy my chocolate chips in bulk, so I don't have a bag of chocolate chips, so I'm gonna measure these. So what I'm gonna start off with is these butterscotch chips. I'm gonna use 2 bags of these. So for you double the butterscotch to the chocolate chips. So for 2 bags of these, you would use 1 bag of regular chocolate, semi-sweet chocolate chips. But because my chocolate chips are in bulk, I'm gonna measure how much 2 bags of these are. So 1 bag is about 1.5 bags. So, I mean a 1.5 cups. So we will use 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. What I'm gonna do is put these in my measuring cup and measure 1.5 cups of chocolate. Now when you melt chocolate in the microwave, you do need to do it on like a 50% power and stir it every 30 seconds to a minute. A minute at first, but then once it gets almost melted, you want to do it at 30 seconds because chocolate can burn. And besides this chocolate, we are going to be using cocktail peanuts. I could not find the Planters brand, so I had to buy the Great Value today. But cocktail peanuts are different than a roasted peanut. So this is what we're going to use for this recipe. Of course, if you cannot find these, you can use the roasted peanuts. I wouldn't get honey roasted though, or the Spanish peanuts because they have a skin on them. So I'd get, if you can find these cocktail peanuts, this is what we use. So we're gonna get this going in the microwave and then we will come back and mix it all together. All right, so I have my chocolate all melted in here. There are a few little bigger chunks, but once we start stirring the peanuts in, they will finish melting. All right, and so I really don't measure. It might take this whole container, which is a pound. But what I do is I just pour some in and I stir. And then after I've spooned all the peanuts, there's usually like some residual chocolate in there, and then I just keep adding peanuts until I've used all the chocolate I can out of here. But they are peanut clusters, so you want a good amount of peanuts in them. I've done pecans in here before because, you know, we are from the South. We love our pecans. But I just didn't like them as much as the peanuts. So I stick with the peanuts and use the pecans in other places. All right, see, I'm taking the whole container. Should have gotten a bigger mixing bowl. My 8-cup measuring cup is in the dishwasher, so I couldn't really use that one. Just what I usually use. All right, so now all I do is take a sheet pan, and I make sure it's one that can go in my refrigerator because I like to put these in the fridge to just make sure they're set up really good and firm before I put them in a storage container. Because if not, then they might stick together a little bit, or just kind of get stuck to your fingers or whatever. Anyway, I just take 2 spoons and I just start dropping them on my sheet pan. I don't leave them in the fridge for a long time just to make sure they're set all the way. A doctor I used to work for a long time ago had made these for him, and he's like, "Do those have rum in those?" I was like, "No, it's the butterscotch chips, I think." And I'm not a fan of butterscotch, but I don't think the butterscotch chips necessarily taste like butterscotch. And you can make some smaller ones and some bigger ones because they are kind of rich, and some people might want just a little taste and some people might want a bigger piece. So I kind of try to do a variety of sizes. And this is it, and we will get these on the pan. All right, we're gonna move on to our next little candy. I took some pecans and I roasted these in the oven for 5 to 7 minutes on 350, and I'm just doing little mounds of like 4 pecans. And then I took some caramels. I took 25 just little Kraft caramels, and I melted them in a little pot here on the stove on low with about a tablespoon of whipping cream, just so those are melted. And then I melted some almond bark chocolate. There it is. If you don't know what almond bark is, it's this chocolate that looks like this. It's not really chocolate, it's chocolate flavored coating. You could melt chocolate chips or chocolate baking bars, but I would add a little bit of coconut oil or butter or something to that to make it smoother. But that's what this is made for, is to melt and coat candy. So I used 4 squares of that almond bark. I melted those. 25 caramels with about a tablespoon of whipping cream. just until this was melted. I'm trying to let it cool a little bit so it firm up some. What we're gonna do is make some turtles. I've never made these before, but I love caramel, I love pecans, I love turtles. So we are gonna give this a try. So we're just gonna pour some of this over the top. And I do have parchment paper down so these will pop off easily. That's running quite a bit. Maybe I'll let this cool just a little bit more. All right, let's see if that's a little better. All right, now that we have our caramel on there, we're gonna take our melted chocolate. Again, I did this on 50% power so that it didn't burn. We'll pour some of this over the top. All right, and then for a little special, just a little bit of something, we're gonna put a little bit of flaky salt over the top. Not much, just a little. So how good do those look? We're gonna put these in the fridge again like the other ones and let them set up. So I think this is the last recipe we'll get to today. And this recipe, I actually learned it from my friend who lives in McKinney, Texas. And if you want to support small businesses for Christmas, she has a jewelry business. She hand makes jewelry. It's hand hammered. Anyway, the name of the her Etsy store, I don't even know if she has an Etsy store. I know she's on Facebook. I'll leave a link somehow in the description. It's called Wire, W-I-R-E, like the wire that she makes the jewelry out of. Why Are We Here? She is a Christian business, and the premise behind the name of it is why are we here? And we're here to serve Jesus. So that is her business. And I will leave some pictures real quick here of some of her jewelry. And then I will try to leave a link somewhere in the description box on how to find her if you want to support her business. Anyway, this is called Tiger Butter, and this is the white almond bark chocolate, which this is what it looks like. I used a whole package here and melted this again on 50% power in the microwave. That is such a key when you are melting chocolate in the microwave. And then here I have the extra crunchy peanut butter, and the only brand I find it in is Jif. And honestly, again, I don't measure. So what I'm gonna do is scoop in, that's probably a half to 3/4 of a cup. We'll stir that in. I find when you're making all these candies and stuff, you end up being covered in chocolate. All right, that looks about right. So because there's like a high fat content in the peanut butter, it makes this a lot smoother, meltier. And what we're gonna do is, I have my oven on the keep warm setting, so whatever your lowest setting is on your oven, I'm gonna pour this on here. Again, my pan is lined with parchment paper. That is very key when you're doing these candies so that they don't stick. Of course, we want to get all that goodness out. This is my son's favorite thing I make. We're going to spread it all the way out on the pan to a thin layer. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take just regular chocolate chips and we're gonna sprinkle those over the top. And then we're gonna put this in the oven on that low setting just to get these chocolate chips melted. The heat from the chocolate and then putting it in the oven will get those melted. So just a minute or two in there is all we need. All right, these I just took out the oven. They were in there for maybe 3 minutes. The chocolate chips are soft now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna swirl those around. So then it ends up looking like tiger stripes. I just have a little Q-tip here, not Q-tip, toothpick. Wouldn't want to put a Q-tip in here because it would make it all furry. Anyway, so we're just gonna swirl these around. And again, like our other chocolates, we're gonna put them in the fridge to make them set so that we can break it apart, because we're gonna break this apart. It's gonna be like a bark. You can see a theme. All my stuff is chocolate and nuts. Specifically, well, I mean, there was some pecans, but I love peanut butter. If you watched my peanut butter pie recipe from Thanksgiving, you'll know that. And that's that easy. Homemade candies don't have to be difficult or intimidating. All right, I'm gonna pop this in the fridge, and then when everything is set up, we will taste it all together. So these are our 3 candies we have. We have our turtles we made, we have our peanut clusters, and this is the tiger butter, and this is what we're gonna do with it. Now that it's cooled, you can see how it peels off that parchment paper. What I do is I just break it up into chunks, like this. And this is pretty rich also, so you don't want them in huge chunks. So you could put these, if you're having a Christmas party, you could put them on a serving platter. If you're giving them away as gifts, I get these little gift boxes or the round tins that they have at the store. And I use a piece of parchment, or you can use some aluminum foil or wax paper. You want to use something that's not going to allow the, let's be honest, chocolate does have some fat in it. You don't want it to seep into the, like if you used a tissue paper or something. So I just line my little box, and I'll put a good amount of each one in here, like this. Now I usually do, like I said, we'll get some more videos of other candies that I make, and so usually the variety in a box would be bigger. But I'm just kind of showing you what I do with what I have right now. And these new turtles we have, my husband's tried one of these. I have not tried it yet. I'm going to try it with you in a second. And he liked it a lot. So we'll get these in here. Again, that parchment paper is going to be your friend with candies like this, so for cleanup. All right, so there's our little box of candies to give to our neighbor, our friend, whoever it is, our family member, somebody at church, and then it just makes a cute little gift. All right, let's taste test these together. All right, so here's our little tiger butter. We'll get a little taste of this. I love peanut butter and chocolate, y'all know that. but the salty and the sweet together, because that white chocolate is super sweet. If you don't know, white chocolate is not actually chocolate. It's a byproduct of when they make chocolate. Kind of like whenever you take whipping cream and you make butter out of that, and then you have, if you've ever made butter before, I know the process, and then you have the leftover part, and that's the buttermilk. People think buttermilk is, oh, so full of fat because it's called butter. It's actually the byproduct of making butter. It's the same with white chocolate. It's a byproduct of making chocolate. It's not actually chocolate. So if you have an intolerance to chocolate or a food allergy to chocolate, I don't know for sure. I'm not an expert on those things. I'm going to assume that you can have white chocolate. Of course, this has chocolate chips in it anyway. So, it's a staple around our house at Christmas. Along with these peanut clusters. These are one of my favorites. A peanut brittle is my other favorite. And we'll make that next time. But, and I always wonder why I don't make these throughout the year. Which I know why. I eat them all the time. But, I love them. Putting those butterscotch chips in here, I don't know, it just makes it richer. Not richer like in like a creamy rich sense, like a whipped cream butter richness. Just, I don't know, just elevates it instead of it just being pure chocolate. I'd rather buy that one. I love those. Here we go with the turtles. I'm so excited about this. That flaky salt on it, the chewy caramel, and the chocolate. Those toasted pecans is so good. Got a little bit of salt on the top. Not much, just a little hint. If you don't have flaky salt or I'm just trying to think of what kosher salt might be a little bit bigger, like a chunk. I guess you could use some table salt, maybe. I don't know. Got flaky salt. Or sea salt. You could use that. Those are so good, y'all. I hope you give these a try. Check out my friend's link to her jewelry shop for handmade jewelry. Try to shop small for Christmas and support your local businesses. So I hope y'all give these recipes a try. And thanks for watching. And hit subscribe if you'd like to follow along. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.